Hey fellow artists, here's me again running late on another live stream. I am going to bring my setup outside. In the meantime, enjoy the ambience of my homestead while I set up. Thank you for being here. Just give me a few minutes. to leave you guys out here with the cicadas. I was gonna come on earlier, but I heard that my neighbor was making a little bit of noise, repairing some engines, and so I thought, okay, I will schedule this for later in the day. And I got stuck in doing other things, and yeah, when you get involved in a project, you zone in, you lose track of time, and that's why I'm late. So many apologies. Let me get my Joyo amp out here, and then we will be ready to begin episode 2 of Cigar Box Guitars Off Grid. All right, let's see. Don't worry, I will adjust that camera to make sure you can see everything. There we go. All right. Ooh. Okay. Got my foot switch plugged in today as well. All right. Let's get centered here. And let me move you guys closer so that I can read the chat. By the way, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to participate in the chat within 10 minutes. It's just a way I moderate these lives on my own. All right. Square that away a little more. It is hot today, folks. Yep. From one day to the next. It can be something very different. Last stream, it was cold. Today, it's hot like a summer's day. I am not joking. And so okay. Yeah. The weather up here in North Florida, I say up here because I'm originally from Miami. Weather up here in North Florida is very unpredictable day to day. You may hear some bugs fly by my field recorder. You're gonna get some mosquito sounds up close and personal. Hope you guys don't mind. right now they're not too bad. They're not bothering me too much. As the sun sets, though, they're gonna have a feast with my arms out here. Anyway, today I am featuring my very first cigar box guitar build. This was my this is my first attempt at building a cigar box guitar. This is cat Tabak. Everyone, cat Tabak. Cat Tabak is a slider, and is a very imperfect build, as you can see there with the nut. It doesn't run, it isn't completely parallel with the bridge, but even with all of its problems, it's still one of my best builds. Got a little creative with the headstock here. Everyone asks me how I made this sound hole, but they love that rustic log stylization of the sound hole, and I must admit that this was a happy accident. I had bought one of those Bell drill attachments, and I had a hard time controlling it, and so it veered off this way. It's quite dangerous, this way and that way, and it created this beautiful sound hole, or unfinished sound hole, that I then use smaller drill attachments to punch out these holes. Never been able to reproduce that look again. This is the first and shall be the last of my cigar box guitars that feature a sound hole like that. On this slider, I am using phosphor bronze strings. It's using strings 5, 4, and 3 of an acoustic guitar set, custom light. That's the way I like it. And I do need to tune cat Tabak up here. Now, for those of you who want to follow along with my looping session, I will be using a chromatic tuner today to get it on some standard notes. I forgot my other device. I will be right back. I don't have access to my chromatic tuner without my other device. By the way, I do have a link to the chromatic tuner that I am using. I use Pano tuner to tune my CBGs to particular keys. I've left links to Pano tuner in the video description box, both to the iOS store and to the Google Play Store for Android devices. No, I am not sponsored by Pano tuner, but if you'd like to sponsor me, Pano tuner, you know, shoot me an email. But I just left links to Pano tuner, which is a free chromatic tuner, in the video description box as a resource for you guys as well. Be right back. Gotta grab my device so that I can have access to my Pano tuner. Be right back. Sorry for the back and forth, folks. My apologies. All right, so I got Pano tuner pulled up on my other device here, and I usually tune Tabak to EBE or DAD. Let me see where it's currently at, and I will tune to what it wants to be tuned to, I guess. Okay, it's closer to a D, so I'm gonna tune Tabak to DAD. So those of you who want to play along during the looping session, you'll be able to, because you know that I will be in D, either in D. Well, the loop that I'm planning to work with you guys. The loop that I'm planning to play today will be in a minor key, so it will be in D minor. All right, let's get Tabak tuned up. Keep this close. Oh, he's actually sharp. Okay. I'll leave him a little sharp. Okay. Okay. This one's very sharp. Okay, that wasn't too painful. Isn't perfectly tuned, but nicely tuned, and you will be able to play along in D. All right, so let's hear what my first cigar box guitar sounds like. Okay. Tabak is a slider. Can't play it without a slide. By the way, did I let you guys know that this is a homemade terracotta slide? I have a Fuseworks craft kiln in my workshop. I gotta make more of these for my shop. Not a perfect slide, but it's good enough. Good enough. My friend Jeff Patterson made me a whole ton of perfectly cylindrical terracotta bisques so that I can have fun glazing them. Thank you, Jeff Patterson. If you ever watch the replay, thank you. All right. Tabak, being one of my baritones, is definitely more grumbly. Sorry about that, folks. Let me text my friend and let her know that I will get back to her later. I'm with you guys right now. Okay. Can I think I can still send. I think I still can. Oh. I forget, I can no longer send texts on this device, it's just a tablet. Let's see. Can I? Let me see if I can. It should work through, maybe this will work through Wi-Fi, I don't know. Wi-Fi calling, I don't know. Oh no, okay, I guess I can't use text messaging on this device anymore. I can do quick, I can do internet calling on this device. I will be right back, folks. I hate not it's a peeve of mine when somebody calls me. I like to return the call or send a text telling people that I can't talk to them right now. I don't like to leave people hanging, and so since I can't text her on this phone and I can't text her on the phone that's currently running the stream, I'm gonna give her a quick internet call. I will be right back. I'm so sorry for all the interruptions, but I really appreciate you guys being here. I really, really, really do. Oh, goodness gracious. I wasn't able to return my friend's call to let her know that I'm on stream. Apparently I can answer Wi-Fi calls on a device, but I can't initiate any calls. I would think if I could answer a Wi-Fi call on this device that I could also initiate one. I guess not. I will make it up to her later. Alrighty. Okay. Maybe there is... Oh, you know what? I don't want to attempt texting her on the streaming phone. I'm not that brave. I don't want to mess up the stream for you guys. I feel like I've set up my chair on top of a snake hole. I'm gonna move my setup a little bit, folks. Thank you so much for being here and for your patience. Really do appreciate it. Alrighty. Adjust a little bit. Alrighty. I will, of course, do a little bit of post-production on this stream for the replay gang. Make this a little more watchable. But I'm glad the 4 of you are here enjoying this stream live. Again, you can interact if you subscribe to the channel, and after 10 minutes you'll be able to chat with me on the live. Let me make sure that, yes. So let's listen to Tabak Unplugged first. Definitely a more grumbly instrument than my acid slider. Hey, Scott Hovitt! Welcome back, my friend. Glad to see you here. Alright. One of the first songs I learned to play on my first Cigar Box guitar is We've Got to Move. That is an American folk song. It's an African-American spiritual, very famous one that was made popular by Mississippi Fred McDowell in his 1950s recording of it. So I'm going to play We've Got to Move Unplugged. And I want to make sure you guys can see the entire guitar as I play here. What are we doing today? Well, Scott, we're working with my very first CBG build, and we're gonna hear her acoustically, plugged in, and then I gotta go harvest some Maypop leaves for dinner, for tonight's salad. So we're gonna do that. Okay. Welcome to CBG Off-Grid, folks, episode 2. Here we go. You've got to move. I know I'll be cutting off my head a little bit, but I really want you guys to see the guitar. Oh, messed up. Let's try that again. I can do better than that. All right. It's been a while since I've played it. I played it over and over and over preparing for the Bradenton Cigar Box Guitar Festival. Haven't touched it much since getting back into the groove of playing You Got to Move. Okay. Let's do it again. And those of you who want to join along, I am tuned somewhere close to a D. I did use my Pano tuner, my Chromatic tuner, to get close to an official D. So you'll be able to play along today if you'd like. Some birds out here come to visit me. Thank you, Scott. Let's plug her in. Let's hear You've Got to Move plugged in into my Joyo amp on the acoustic setting. All right. And I did remember to charge my amp. So Joyo should now not poop out on us today. Here we go. Let me turn the volume all the way up. All right, let's play You've Got to Move. Let's add vocals. Shall I attempt that? I am not warmed up, but I'm going to attempt it. Here we go. Let's add a little bit of distortion. How about that? I feel like I need a little bit more grumble for this song. Let's go to, let's see this blue setting. not grumbly enough in my opinion. This is on the crunch setting. Oh, I like that. All right, here we go. You've got to move. Ah, you see the gnats flying around? Yep. It's like the middle of summer out here in North Florida today. Tomorrow, who knows? But today, it's hot. It's sweaty. It's buggy. Are bothering. You may be high, you may be low, you may be rich, child, you may be poor, but when the Lord gets ready, you've got to move. Much grumblier, rough and tumblier sound from this cat Tabak. My very first build, my very first baritone using phosphor bronze strings, custom light. Custom light is nice on the picking hand, nice on the picking hand. There's another loop that I'm working on that I'd like to share with you guys today. I think I can play it, at least not the rhythm guitar part. I think I can play it on this crunchy setting. Let me see. Yep, I think it's appropriate. Let me get my pedal set up properly so that I can hit it just at the right time. Here we go. Let's see. You know, filming from this location is a little bit harder because the ground isn't as even as it was in front of the fallen oak area. So next time I'll just go back to the fallen oak area, or I'll try another spot, maybe somewhere underneath the oak, the big granddaddy oaks. And so yeah, grr. Whew. I bet you guys are getting a lot of bug noises around in full stereo. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't think I activated it. Oh, I did. Oops, I did. Okay, let's get a real loop going though. Let me get this one erased. I think it's 3 taps on the joyo to clear the loop. Okay, cleared the loop. Here we go. And the occasional rooster, yes. Yep. We got it all up here on the homestead. They're not my chickens. I don't have chickens. Chickens are kind of a tragedy up here in North Florida, especially if you have cats. The type of chickens you have to keep up here in North Florida because of all the predators that are out here are basically velociraptors. They're very big. They have like hairy feet, and they kill cats, and they're very aggressive. So I cannot keep chickens. I don't want to keep chickens because I like my kitties. There are plenty of other folk that do keep chickens, and so that's fine. And a lot of people do sell their eggs, which is really, really cool. So I'll trade plants or homemade wine for chicken eggs, and so I don't have to keep them myself. Scott. Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah. One time my dad was helping me cut the grass out here, and he was cutting around my mailbox. He got down to do something. He got off of the ride mower to do something, and a rooster came out of nowhere and was aggressive with him, was going to attack him. And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. I do have cousins up in Georgia that do keep chickens, and they have told me some horror stories that one of their roosters was really, really aggressive and attacked basically ripped one of his kneecaps off, and he had to get surgery. Wow, I had no ideas that chickens were dangerous. So, steering clear of chickens. I don't want the responsibility of chickens, and I don't want to have to deal with any tragedies between chickens and my cats. So, I love my kitties. Here we go. Scott says, we raise 200 plus chickens every year. I don't blame you. Oh, Scott, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. All right, let's get this loop going. Shall we call this the chicken loop? Maybe. Although the sound you heard in the background was a woodpecker. Shall we call it the woodpecker loop? Let's call it the woodpecker loop. It'll probably start playing percussion soon, so. I didn't get the muting that I wanted out here. Let's clear that loop. And again, it's 3 fast clicks on the looper to clear the loop on the Joyo DC15S. So, oh, you like the name of the loop, Scott, the woodpecker loop? Okay, I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, here we go. Make sure I got my muting. See if I got it. Not perfect, but you know what? I'm gonna work with it. Let me give my solo part a little bit more distortion. I'm gonna set it to my favorite metal setting, which sounds really cool on Tabak. It's really erratic. You don't know what this is gonna do. This piezo amp CBG that's really noisy, you don't know what it's gonna do with that full metal distortion, but I find that working with it gives my playing a lot of character. So as a non-guitarist, you can take all the help you can get from your guitar. So and it's 2 steps to stop the loop. Renzi, welcome. Welcome. Renzi says, hello everyone, cheers from Argentina. By the way, folks, Renzi is a virtuoso bassist. And he's also a great cigar box guitar enthusiast. He owns his own fretless slider, and the music he's making with it is truly amazing. So please click on his avatar, check out his channel on YouTube, and watch his videos. Very interesting conversations happening in his videos. And by the way, folks, I am gonna have Renzi not on this stream, but on my more formal interview stream, Psyche Opera Creators Live. So keep an eye out for that. Renzi, off the top of my head, I forgot, I think it was towards the end of the month. anyways, keep an eye out on my community posts, folks, so you can see when I have Renci's interview scheduled. And so, yes, and do go check out his channel. Do go check out his channel. Listen to his music. The best thing that you could do to support an artist here on YouTube, folks, is to watch videos and to comment and to share the videos with friends. I'm not sure why the metal isn't meddling today. So let me get a setting that is better to solo with on this guitar. With hand-built cigar box guitars, folks, especially rustic ones like this, every build is different. Every build has its own unique character, its own quirks, its own noises, and interact, especially if they're piezo amped cigar box guitars, interact with effects in different ways, in different unexpected ways. That's why you can never get bored building rustic instruments like this. You can use the same building techniques, and first you just can't predict the outcomes, and that's what makes it so interesting. And so let's see. Maybe it's because my tone is a little setting, the lead setting, sounds better for soloing on this particular CBG. Scott says it sounds a little muffled and not very crispy. This one isn't crispy because it's a baritone. That's one thing that is consistent across all of my baritones, which means if you string up a rustic CBG such as this one with the bottom 3 strings from an acoustic guitar set, you're going to get a more grumbly, more bassy sound. But if you do want crisp and crispy and sparkly, use the top 3 strings of an acoustic guitar set, like what I had on my acid slider. But yes, the tone is a lot better with this lead setting. I agree with you, Scott. All right. Wow. Right now, it's a time of day where I haven't been able to find this flower. I don't know I don't know what's flowering that's producing this smell, but across the homestead you can smell like a baby powdery type of scent, and it doesn't matter where you go on the homestead right now, you can smell this flower. I don't know what's producing this smell. All I know is it's something that's not on my property. It's probably somewhere in the neighboring forest. But man, that flower projects such a beautiful, beautiful scent. And I don't even know what's producing it. Gosh. What tuning are you using? Right now, Renci, I'm on something that's close to a DAD. Close. Let's see how far I've drifted from DAD. I'm going to pull up my Pano tuner. If I've drifted too far off DAD, then I'll adjust, because I want you guys to be able to follow along and play if you want to. Let's see. DAD. No, I'm pretty spot on DAD. Okay. let's run this loop again and let's give this solo another chance. I have a melody in my head that I'm trying to reproduce. Let me give it maybe a little bit more. Let's see if some delay will give me some inspiration here. DGD would sound pretty on your CBG. I would like to try that, and I will. We shall try it after this, after I'm somewhat satisfied with this loop improv, Renzi. All right, so let's try Renzi's tuning. DGD rather than DAD. Let's give it a shot. Never tried this tuning before. Got my Pano tuner with me. Pano tuner. take middle string down a whole step, folks. Let's see what this sounds like. Something closer to bass or guitar tuning, I'm guessing. Appreciate these sonorities a little bit. These oop. Okay, it drifted down from the G. So we have sol, do, a perfect fourth, and then a perfect fifth on top of that. Different. Some interesting quartal harmonies happening here. Whoa, Renzi! I like it. Trying to grab just the last two strings with the slide and leave the bass string alone. Renzi says it gives it a dark blues feel. It does indeed. I agree with you. Folks, those of you just tuning in right now, we're experimenting with a new tuning recommended by Renzi, our great virtuoso bass player in the chat. We moved from DAD to DGD, and it's giving us some cool sounds. So I'm just grabbing the last two strings with the slide here. Let me get a cleaner setting. Let me reset things here with the Joyo. Alright, let's try it now. Sometimes the Joyo needs a little bit of a reset. If you're not getting the volume that you are expecting, I turn it off, turn it back on, and it restores it for some reason. Don't know what's going on, but the reset always brings things back. different vibe just by changing one note here in the tuning. Renzi says, I'm a huge distortion fan for the bass and use the same concept for my CBG. Let's add a little bit of distortion with this new tuning. Now that we reset things, I should get the distortion that I'm expecting here from my Joyo amp. I'm excited. Try some pitch harmonics with your riffs. You know, Renzi, I'm not good enough to pull off harmonics all the time, but I can grab them every once in a while, but accidentally, always accidentally. Let me see. A darker type of blues, more like if I had to describe it in terms that I know, more like a dark metal type of blues. I don't know if that makes any sense. Mr. J, it takes a bit to learn to do harmonics on purpose. Yes, it does. Yeah. I need Renzi, I definitely need a tutorial. Come on, guy. You will, I can't wait till you start producing tutorials, Renzi. I'm going to watch every single one and put them to good use. Put those skills to good use on my Cigar Box guitar. Wow. Sure will. Can't wait. Well, folks, I'm happy to have given you a tour of my very first build. Very first CBG. And so what I'd like to do now is move on to my next segment, where I am going to be harvesting some wild leafage for dinner tonight. I'm going to make a salad with Maypop leaves, or leaves from the Passiflora incarnata vine, which is our native passion fruit. I should say naturalized passion fruit, because it was originally from Mexico. And so, but it's been here for so long, since colonial times, it's become naturalized. All right, so I will go and get my bucket, and then I will be back with you guys to do some harvesting. And I'll leave you a little bit with the chicharras, or the cicadas, that are making some beautiful sound right now. You see, I mentioned them and they started singing for you guys. I'll be right back. so I got my bucket and ready for the second segment. Renzi says, you guys are warmly invited afterwards to experience pinch harmonics on my CBG in my latest videos, Sweet Lips. Like I said, before the CBG is a very versatile instrument, I use DGBD tuning. Thank you for sharing that, Renzi. I did check out your Sweet Lips video. People, please go check out Renzi's latest single. Very cool music. He's working with a 4-string fretless cigar box guitar. Do check out his work. He's amazing. Alrighty. And so let's do a little bit of harvesting. And I'm happy to take you guys along. I'm gonna make a salad again with Maypop leaves or leaves from the Passiflora incarnata vine from up here. And I'm gonna prepare a vinaigrette with raw apple cider vinegars, some organic mustard, and organic olive oil. With me, everything organic, folks. Long time ago, I had a run-in, well, not to get personal, I don't eat anything that isn't organic anymore except when I go out. If I can help it, I will eat organic because I don't want to be eating foods that have been sprayed to death. And so I know that glyphosate is a ubiquitous chemical because it's water soluble, but I don't want to be taking in extra doses of it, if you know what I mean. So that's why I go organic. Anyway, let's go harvest some Passiflora incarnata leaves. Let's go. And I'm going to remove my phone off of my stand, and I'm gonna flip the camera here. Flip, flip, flip. Can I? It's not allowing me to flip the camera. Okay, I see. Rear. Okay, there we go. Thank you for sharing out Renzi's YouTube channel URL, Scott. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate it because I can't do it myself here on my phone. Guys, please do go and check out Renzi's work. We got some beautiful beauty berries happening here. Can't wait till they start flowering, fruiting. Oh, it looks like one of my kitties caught a pigeon. Poor guy. I love cats, folks, but it always makes me sad when they catch something. It is what it is. Oh, my prickly pear is flowering. It has a new flower on it. Let's take a look at it. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous prickly pear flower, folks. Isn't that amazing? It's like a yellow rose. And I guess it's pollinated by beetles because there's always beetles inside of the prickly pear rose. I know my friends from Mexico know how to prepare the pallets for eating. I heard they taste like green pepper. I've never tried it myself, but it's nice to know that I can cook these if I wanted to make delicious dishes with. Oh, I thought it was a beetle. It was something else. All right. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Oh my gosh. None of my prickly pears have ever bore fruit, but I'm hoping this year I'll get lucky and can harvest some prickly pear fruit from my property. I have bought prickly pears from some of my neighbors who do have cacti that produce, that bear fruit, and it tastes like cantaloupe. And I did make wine with those prickly pears, so I can't wait till mine produce fruit. All right, onward. Let's go and harvest some Maypop leaves. Here's one of the big red oaks that are on my property, folks. I've seen some huge red oaks up here in North Florida. I mean like Jurassic Park huge. Maybe someday I'll take you guys to some neighboring properties so you could see these gigantic red oak. See them in their glory. All right, so I know I have a lot of Maypop vines here. I also have a lot of blackberry vines here. And they're not really vines, but they like leaning against other plants, but I do have a lot of Maypop here. Here we go. You guys saw these in my last video. Passiflora incarnata, our wild passion fruit. Locals call them Maypop, at least the locals that remember, or the locals that have grandparents that remember how to use these plants. They know that these are called Maypop. A lot of knowledge is being lost, my friends. The younger generations up here don't know what they have on their land. It's very, very sad. These have beautiful flowers as well. And when it rains, the flowers put out kind of a soft incense kind of smell. How often do you get to harvest, and how much do you get when you do harvest? Well, Scott, I have so many of these Passiflora incarnata plants that, I mean, I could harvest leaves every day. They're everywhere on my property. I'm very, very lucky. And so I'm gonna harvest leaves from the best leaves from all the vines that I encounter. Later in the season, I'll get to harvest fruit and make some fruit wine with the little passion fruits that grow on these things. These are, to my local Floridians, these are our local passion fruit vines. They are perennials. They go dormant in the winter, but they come back in the same place they were last year, and they spread, which is great. Free food from nature. Why would you want to get rid of these? Free food from nature. These are not weeds. This is food. All right. I'm not going to take all the leaves, of course, because I want this guy to fruit as well. I don't have enough trellises to cover all the vines that are on the property. But I'll leave the bigger leaves on. That's what I got so far. Move on to the next plantique. And I have some younglings right behind this other flowering plant. Okay. And as I picked them, I could smell the peanut butter scent they put out when when you pluck them and when you chew on the leaves. It's the coolest thing. The commercial passion fruit, the edulous, the leaves are hairy, so they're not very good for eating, but these are not hairy and they're very soft like a lettuce. And once you start chewing on them, they take on a nutty flavor. They're absolutely gorgeous. Let me see. Again, not taking all the leaves, just the leaves that I like. And yes, I'm going to eat these raw in a salad with organic vinaigrette dressing I'm putting together with some raw vinegar. Here are some more vines. Do I have to be careful on how many leaves I take? No, this plant is pretty resilient, Scott, but I just want it to have an opportunity to take in as much sun as it needs to bear fruit. I want to harvest a ton of fruit this season because I want to eat some and make wine. This year I'm going to be disciplined about harvesting my fruit, and I'm going to make wine. Here's another vine back here. The young leaves are, of course, easier to eat. Not because they're any softer than the larger leaves, they just fit on a fork better. And I'll leave leafage on it. This is what we got so far. It's just me and Lawrence, so all I need is to fill up this bucket. If my parents were over, I'd probably need 2 or 3 of these because they love their salad. And if anyone is if anyone here watching is in Zone 8B or somewhere in South Florida, or in a place that has a climate similar to South Florida or similar to Zone 8B, I'd be happy to send you some seeds. Just shoot me an email. I sent seeds to a gentleman last year in Pensacola, and I think he was successful in germinating them. You can't transplant these because their root system is so complicated, and if you damage the root system, you kill the plant. I've tried transplanting these to try to control where they happen, and my transplants have never survived. So it's better to germinate these guys from seeds. And these are the type of seeds that you have to scratch in order to get them to germinate, so that's something to keep in mind. You scratch them, you soak them, and then you plant them. Do they grow more leaves then after you pick some? Yes, they do, Scott. These guys become longer and grow leaves, regenerate new leaves, yeah. Or, excuse me, generate new leaves. So you can pick as many leaves as you want. They'll grow new leaves throughout the season. Look what we got here. A caterpillar. I don't know much about caterpillars, folks. Anyone know what type of caterpillar this is? It's beautiful. Now, let me see if I can get the camera to focus on it. Focus on the caterpillar. Gorgeous. Something that I learned up here is that caterpillars only eat their host plants, and they might have only 1 or 2 host plants. And so they can't possibly ruin your entire garden. Some people think if they have caterpillars, one caterpillar will do away with their entire garden. No, they only eat their host plant. So leave them alone. You need butterflies and moths, guys. You need pollinators. Leave these guys alone. All right, yeah, we got some flowering passion vines here. Let's harvest some leafage from the bottom of this one. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter that a caterpillar's munched on this one. Passiflora incarnata, or the Maypop, is, I think, a host plant to the zebra swallowtail moth up here, which is endangered. All the more reason to not eliminate these guys from your property. They're not weeds, they're important. The zebra swallowtail needs them. All right. Let's see. I can be picky about which leaves I take because I have so many of these. I can just settle for the most pristine leaves. Let's see. Let's take these younglings on the top. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to take... Oh, yeah, there we go. This is what we got so far. Move onward. I got more vines behind me and more vines along the fence. Here's another. Right here. Let me do a little bit of, oh, don't fall over, bucket. Yeah. The mosquitoes are starting to bother me now with dusk setting in. Grr. Grr. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, there are quite a few back here. And so what I'll do when I bring these inside, I'll just soak them in water and then they'll be ready for eating. later in the season, you'll start seeing more caterpillars on these guys. Right now is the best time to harvest the leafage because there aren't any of those red caterpillars. Again, I think they're the caterpillars of the zebra swallowtail. But now's the best time to eat the leaves from the Maypop. Got some more under this beautyberry bush. Whew, wish it was a little bit cooler. Back to summer up here in North Florida. Okay, that one has a few red ants on it, so I'm going to leave it alone. I don't complain too much about the red ants out here, and there are plenty of huge red ant piles up here, but I had this gardenia flower that I bought, a gardenia bush I purchased from Lowe's, and before I put it into the ground, I kept it inside the house because I wanted to have a gardenia plant inside the house, and I wanted it to flower and be beautiful inside my home. And it didn't take too long to find out that the soil of this gardenia plant that I bought from Lowe's was infested with spider mites. Ooh, spider mites, and it was killing my gardenia. And so I had no hope for this plant. I took it outside, placed it outside in hopes that the sunlight and rain and, natural environment would restore it. And I lost hope further when I went to check up on the plant. It was full of red ants. I'm like, oh no, the red ants are going to kill this plant. And it turned out that the red ants saved the plant by killing the spider mites. And that gardenia is now big and beautiful. It became healthy enough to plant it into the ground, and that gardenia produces lots of flowers for me. So whenever I discover potted plants that I buy having spider mites on them, I put them outside, and the red ants take care of them. Take care of those spider mites. And so, latest plant that I had to deal with was I'd purchased a small Texas tarragon plant, and yeah, there were spider mites in the soil. They were killing my plant. I put it outside close to a red ant pile, and it's beautiful now. I'll take you guys to go and see it. I have it in a bucket near my outdoor kitchen. No. I don't like red ant bites, but I like what they do to spider mites. So it's 36 degrees here. Wow, Scott. You know, I don't like cold weather, but I would like it to be a little cooler in the spring here. I like to have a little more winter or spring weather. For longer, that is. Our spring and our winter don't last very long. It feels like a summer's day out here. Whew, it is hot. It is dusk, so the mosquitoes are bothering me. That's okay. That is okay. Ooh. Some interesting insects on this one. Any entomologists out there? What is this thing? Let me see. Oh, I can't. Oh, it flew away. Gosh. It flew away. Sorry. I was trying to capture a purple beetle with long black legs. Don't know what that is. We're almost reaching the top of the bucket. A little more, just a little more leafage for me and Lawrence. See you soon, guys. Have a great day. Hugs. Many hugs to you, Rency. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, the shade. Okay, next stream, I'm setting up right here. Close to the oak grove. Oh, because the shade here is the best shade on the homestead is here. All right, I'm going to head towards the biggest patch of Maypop vines there are on the homestead, and we'll just finish the harvest right there. And again, we are letting them go in the raised beds. Because why not? Nothing else works unless you put a lot of soil amendments in. And again, Lawrence and I just have so many projects going on hand that we don't have time to do serious gardening. So we've gotten into perennial permaculture stuff through necessity. But I think it's the best way to go anyway. All right, here's a nice one. Trying not to get the tendrils, less cleaning to do later. And again, I could be very choosy with the leaves because I have so many of these. I don't have to settle for half-eaten leaves. Oh, there's a nice one back there. There's a baby one there. Okay, we're getting close to the top of the bucket. Then I'll take you guys over to see the Texas tarragon that my red ants cured of spider mites. Ooh. Some of them over here, there's more here, but some of them over here have really beautiful flowers on them. Ooh! There was a hornet on that one. Ooh. I hope it won't come back to bite me. Something I learned doing some research about Maypop or Passiflora incarnata is that regular bees cannot pollinate these. It has to be beetles or carpenter bees, which are huge bumblebees. They're very big bees. Rinse with water and mix them with lettuce. Yep, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do, Scott, is fill this bucket with water, shake it around a little bit, and get rid of any soil. And but I haven't bought lettuce, so it's just gonna be these guys with some onions and a vinaigrette dressing I'm gonna make with raw vinegar. You know me, I'm into probiotics. All right. Right. This one is pretty pristine. I can take mini leaves from this one. Okay, I think this will be enough for me and Lawrence tonight. They are yummy, Scott, and I could smell the peanut butter scent that they produce from here when you pick them or chew on them. Let me take you guys to the Texas tarragon, saved by my red ants. Yep. Yeah, the stuff that you need to kill spider mites, from what I hear, is rare and expensive. I just put something that has infected soil right next to one of these piles, and those spider mites are goners. Oh yes. And no, the red ants haven't killed my my plants. I'm here in my front yard area where my outdoor kitchen is, and let's see where my where did I put? Okay. Oh, hey Londo, how are you? My Texas tarragon. What do the Maypop taste like? Maypop leaves taste like, Scott? Well, at first crunch, it's just like a run-of-the-mill romaine lettuce, but then when you start chewing on the leaves a little bit more, you get a nutty peanut butter taste. I can't explain it. They're delicious and very good for you, full of magnesium and other beneficial minerals. Here's Texas tarragon. If you like anise tea, you'll love Texas tarragon. They have a beautiful sweet anise flavor. And yeah, yep, no more spider mites on these guys. I gotta be careful handling this pot because there's still some red ants around, but the red ants actually help keep this plant healthy. Because again, the soil did come infected with spider mites. I got some citrus here that I've managed to protect from dying in the winter. This is actually a plant I've grown from seed, and this is the first year that it flowers and fruits. Focus, iPhone. Focus on this. Focus. Citrus from seed. First time that it's fruiting. It's about 3 years old. And this will be a citrus plant that no one else in the world has, because when you plant a citrus from seed, it isn't true to type. And then I can pick a name for it. And if it's a citrus that is tasty, I can graft it and maybe propagate it to give away or to sell, and nobody else will have this citrus. Oh, my chilies are fruiting. That makes me happy. What else is fruiting around here? Okay, my cayenne pepper has flowers on it, so I'm hoping that I will have peppers from these guys soon. I love spicy food. I love making fermented hot sauces as well. And my brother, he's an expert at making lacto-fermented hot sauces, and he's become quite famous up here already. He hasn't been in North Florida very long, but people know his hot sauce already. It's amazing. Someday in the future, we're going to put on an art market on my mom's homestead. And he's going to sell his hot sauce, and I'm going to sell my Cigar Box Guitars. It's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, I'll take you guys along. This is my my lemon balm. But it isn't the official lemon balm. I forget the scientific name. I have to look it up again. Not the official, not lemon balm. I'm sorry. It's lemon. This is lemon verbena, but not the official one. I will look up the scientific name and then I will get back to you guys about this. But this one has, it's beautiful tasting and it has a lot of great medicinal properties. And so, when I have guests over, this is my favorite area to entertain. Right here. These are logs from an oak that fell after the last hurricane in North Florida. Quite brutal, that hurricane. Made some log stools with them. Here's the type of fire pit you use to make Scott. You never really cared for lemons? Well, maybe the new variety of lemon that is now on my homestead will taste different and you will like it. Maybe someday we shall meet and you will have to try my lemons and my wine and my mead, Scott, and maybe my moonshine. Oh, these are cat briars or green briars. These guys actually produce the tuber, or I shouldn't say tuber, the rhizome that formed the original recipe of sarsaparilla. I've never tried to harvest a rhizome, but it's something that's on my to-do list, folks. And I see that on Amazon you could get some green briar rhizomes to make tea and sarsaparilla with. I have 2 varieties of green briar on my property, so I have to see if the varieties I have are the ones that are being harvested for these uses. So we're returning back to our original spot next to the big oak next to my house, big live oak. Why don't we close up here next to this beautiful prickly pear rose? I appreciate you all for joining me on this second episode of Cigar Box Guitars Off Grid. I may be back on tomorrow for another episode. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it casual. I'm trying not to stress out about scheduling, so I'm coming on when I can and when the weather's cooperating. I like grapefruit with sugar, though. Grapefruit is amazing, Scott. I made the most wonderful ceviche with grapefruit, but let me tell you what, that's when I learned that it lowers my blood pressure too much. So I have to be very careful with grapefruit, but I loved it in ceviche. What does prickly pear fruit taste like? It tastes like a cantaloupe. It tastes like a cantaloupe, excuse me. Well, folks, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I will see you in the next stream. Chaito.